Good morning, everyone. So last week I spoke to you guys about limiting beliefs, and my question was, what limiting beliefs do you have holding you back in life? So that brought me to wanting to talk to you today about cognitive distortions or unhelpful thought patterns, however you wish to label it or call it. And the first one, I want to show you the paper here. So I'm going to work through this with you. What are cognitive distortions? The first one is an all black or white thinking approach, or an all or nothing thinking approach. So as an example, that would be you never love me, or you completely love me, or so there's no gray area, no in between, and you sort of are determined to have a black or a white outcome to things. The second one is cognitive filtering. So pretty much you can see there's the saying that when you fall in love, you look at life and the person through rose-colored glasses or lenses. That pretty much sums up cognitive filtering. The third one is jumping to conclusions. So when 1 + 1 = 5. So before the next person actually has the opportunity to fully express what they're trying to convey to you, in your mind, you're already sort of making up your mind as to what you think they are saying and not to what actually is. Sorry. So that would either make you a fortune teller or a mind reader, because none of us really know what someone feels or means unless they actually say it to you. So please be careful of mind reading or thinking you can, or fortune telling, because both of those are actually quite wrong. The fourth one is emotional reasoning. So assuming that just because you feel a certain way, that it must be true. It's definitely not. The next, or one of the next topics I'll discuss is how to develop or reach a wise mind. So, for instance, you might feel, I feel embarrassed, so I must be an idiot, or I can't get this right, so therefore I must be a failure. Emotional reasoning can be very harmful and very dangerous, especially to yourself. Now this one, number 5, is one that the majority of us are guilty of at some stage, called labeling or self-labeling. So if you think about it, how many times have you said to someone, oh, I'm such a worry pot, or I always worry. I've said to clients, friends, and anyone I came into contact with through the years, be more mindful of what you say when you say it, and especially what you say about yourself. And those of you who know me will very well know that I have this habit. The minute I hear someone speak out something negative over themselves or someone else, I'll go cancel, cancel, cancel. And it actually became a little habit that stuck with a lot of my friends and acquaintances. So an example of self-labeling would be, I'm not good enough, or I'm always failing, or I'm always trying but never actually getting it right. Or the scary part is you can do the same thing to others. And yes, some people might call it judgment, but in labeling others, you're actually labeling yourself. Then the 6th distortion is overgeneralizing things. So you will say, everything is shit in my life, or nothing ever works. I have to tell you, last year, Kian went through a bit of a bullying episode at school. And we were driving home the one afternoon and he said to me, Mom, everybody hates me at that school. And I said to him, really? Everybody, every single child? And he was like, yes. So I said, so you telling me that every child from kindergarten all the way through to year 6, every single child hates you and don't want to be your friend? And he sat for a little bit and then he went, okay, maybe not every child. I said, right. So could it be that it's the kids in your class, or could it be it's the little group that you hang out with? Anyway, so eventually we narrowed it down that it was only a small group of children he actually played handball with. And that was such a good opportunity for me to teach Kian the value of not overgeneralizing things, because it's a habit. It's just a bad habit, and habits can be broken through sufficient repetition of good behavior or good habits. Well, yes, a repetition of behaviors form a habit. So if you stop repeating certain behaviors, you'll equally break a habit. Disqualifying the positive. So if you discount all the good stuff, so nothing ever works for me, nothing ever goes right in my relationships, nothing is good at work, no one likes me at work, and like in Kian's case, as he said, no one likes me. And then if you apply minimization or magnification, it's like when you exaggerate. So if you have an argument with your partner or your husband and you go to your best friend, he doesn't love me at all. And then when you start narrowing it down, you find they had a small dispute, and through proper communication, it can be resolved. But a person can easily fall into the trap, especially when upset, to say, nothing works for me, it never works out, or he never gives me enough attention. And another term we can use for that is that you catastrophize things. So nothing I do is ever good enough. You never appreciate me, that sort of thing. And then this is also a significant one because it affected a lot of us since childhood. So it's rigid rule keeping. When you hear, you shall do this, you must do this, you will do that, those are rigid rules. Now, a good idea is to rather pose the question or turn it into a question saying, you know, you could do this or that, because that leaves the person an option. It leaves a choice. And people who are given choices are more inclined to work positively with you, and the outcome is very likely to be far more positive and what you expect than what it is when you start saying you must, you will, you shall. All the ladies out there will know the minute they start a diet and the diet says you will not eat that, what do you crave? You start craving what you're not allowed to eat. Or you must weigh yourself every day, or you mustn't eat this or that. You will do exactly what you're told you can't. And this is such a big one because it applies so well to parenting. It applies to so many areas of our lives that it's a good idea to learn how to manage this specific cognitive distortion. And then, of course, the final one is personalization. It's when you point the finger. And where relationships are concerned, this one is really very important, because aren't we all guilty of so quickly going, but you never do this or you never do that, and we point that finger. It's true. So what you need is time. So rather take a deep breath, even go for a walk or walk around the house, whatever you need to do, but put time between you and the next person so that you can calm down and they can calm down and you can rethink your approach. Sorry. So this is all on cognitive distortions, and if you have any questions or thoughts where any of these 10 points are concerned, please leave a comment below. And then please do like this video, share it. And of course, when you look under all the little buttons below or icons, you'll see the word subscribe in red. Hit the subscribe button and stay tuned. And I shall speak to you guys next week, if not sooner. I hope you have a marvelous day. It's a rainy, cold winter day here in Australia. So I hope it's at least sunny where you are. And I wish you much love for the week to come. Bye, guys.